Womb for rent, women as incubators, violation of children's rights. You must have seen those headlines when searching the internet about surrogacy. In this interview, you will hear not just an information, but the truth about surrogate motherhood in Ukraine. Here and now, an open conversation with the head of surrogacy clinic, Vladislav Feskov. Hello, Vladislav.
Good day, Tatiana.
These days, we start to receive a lot of questions about surrogate motherhood in Ukraine, and some of these questions is really tough.
I believe it's a great opportunity to disclose more information and to give the real trust how it really works.
Vladislav, the first question we have is, what requirements does the clinic demand on potential intended parents apart from the financial circumstances, age, civil status?
Well, you understand the modern world is very strict and very multi-side. First, our requirement for intended parents is their mental and biological opportunity to become the real responsible parents of future baby. So, the first one requirement is our internal policy of clinic requires to have summary amount of age of intended parents together no more than 110 years. It means that no later than 55 years both of spouses were accepted to the programs. But of course with consideration of sperm quality and their intention to use the egg donation or oocytes. Of course we have examples when the man is 80, the young lady is 20. In these cases, we are not accepting such intended parents because it should not only to make the pregnancy and to give the birth through the surrogacy, somebody need to take care for education of those children after they come back to their home. The second requirement of intended parents is their reproductive compatibility because when we are accepting a couple to our clinic to conduct IVF program, we must to understand by our hands, by our hearts, and laboratory indicators that we can really to make the guarantee for this couple. And the third thing, nowadays we are asking intended parents to provide the documents about their life background before, about no criminal activity in their countries, about their relatives in case of something will be happened with whom we can to contact in order to decide the rights for babies. But the main thing is medical, legal and age requirements.
Oh, it's clear. So the next question will be, does the clinic offer intended parents the opportunity to make wishes regarding the child's gender?
Okay. We have like such a joke in Ukraine that if I can, if I have rights, yes, you have rights. But I can, no, you cannot. But with the sex selection or gender determination, it works in the next way. Look, I'm an embryologist. This is the embryo of the 5th day of development, the blastocyst. When embryo achieves the moment of 5th, 6th, sometimes 7th day of development, when native trophoectoderm in native approach go outside, our embryologists make the biopsy of some cells of future placental cells. Then we are making the sequence and we are making assessment of the all number and structure chromosome assessment. XY is the same chromosomes like 1st, 2nd, 15th, 9th, 8th. So if clinic, if laboratory really provides the PGD in the high resolution next generation sequencing or the method, if they're really doing this, in all cases you will know the gender of the baby. That's why if intended parents, for example, are selecting the program of or our package like this, in all cases they know who we transfer, boy or girl. But if intended parents, they have, or single parent, they have like any sex-linked disorder, for example, hemophilia is a very known disorder, or any cancer predisposition, these hormonal disorders, or other disorders which can be lead to affecting of the boy or girl. Of course, we are providing the gender selection through the IVF with the transfer of only gender of embryo, which will be for sure healthy. For the medical conditions, we are providing this, and for if, let's say, if somebody wants very much, We cannot refuse this. Yes, we are providing this, but with the strict criteria for selection of intended parents, with their biological parameters and the indications why we are doing this.
It was a really interesting reply. Thank you, Vladislav.
Thank you, as it is.
So the third question will be, how much time approximately passes from the time intended parents contact the clinic until the surrogate mother becomes pregnant and later the child is born?
It's one of my favorite questions, and let's calculate together. So this is the hello, they came to clinic, this is goodbye, they go with baby to home. When they start, first, the time depends on if the sperm quality is good or bad. We making pre-treatment before IVF or we do not making the male andrological treatment. The second thing, if we are proceeding with gender selection, sex determination of baby or without, we proceed with ovum oocytes or with examination. We proceed with the package with a waiting list of surrogate mother or without the waiting list of surrogate mother. Normally, all turnover time for the program where we have no waiting list, we have no complications, no problem with the pregnancy achievement, our fastest program were 11 months. The man came with a super good sperm. During the 1 month, we created the embryo. During the 3 weeks, we provided the embryo transfer for surrogate mother and 9 months of pregnancy. And around 7 days to go back home. Normal middle time, we should to be ready. Intended parents should to be ready for the 1.5 year for all over the project. Why I say this? Can be 1 month andrological treatment, selection of egg donor 1 to week, genetical matching in order to prevent single gene disorders inheritance, around 3 weeks, 1 month. Embryo creation, around 2 weeks IVF stimulation and 2 weeks PGD results, and several months additionally in order to make one or another negative positive embryo transfer, and then we have the pregnancy. So, normal time 1.5 year. If we speak in the packages without waiting list. This time includes 9 months of pregnancy, because less than 9 months of pregnancy is not good.
So the next question is, what the process of recruiting new surrogates and what are the key elements in it?
To become surrogate mother in our clinic, it's a very difficult process. Why? Because only 2 from 10 potential candidates are proceeding with the next hour examinations and next hour process. When comes the lady, she has to undergo the gynecological, psychological, general health examination. Then during 3 months before the embryo transfer, she undergoes dynamical examination in order to prove that she is healthy mind. We see how she is organized by her life, how she comes for the medical termin for the doctor, how she answers the phone, how she takes medication, if she don't smoke, don't drink, don't use drugs. If we find alcohol, drug, or smoking in the urine, in the blood, we say, our dear, please come after 3 months again to repeat all this process again. And only the approved surrogate mothers, approved women who are ready to cooperate with us, start the process. After 3 months, she can be accepted for the embryo transfer.
So it's actually more complicated than it seems. And the fifth question we have here, how do you generally experience the relationship between the intended parent and the surrogate mother?
Our general experience is to provide the keeping relations between intended parent and surrogate mother as 2 business partners. From the psychological point, let's now think from the point of surrogate mother. For her, it's not so convenient to have the communications with plenty of unnecessary information and questions. Surrogate mother prefer normally to speak with the doctor and with the coordinator, who speaks her language, who is more closely by the mentality to her. For the woman who cannot to carry the baby, it's very inconvenient psychologically to have direct contact with woman who carries her baby. That's why our approach is possibility to speak with surrogate mother, possibility to know her, who is she, how she feels, what she thinks, but with participation of our coordinator. In the past, we had experience when we provided direct contact between intended parents and surrogate mother when both parts required this. But finally, it finished with disappointing for both parties because surrogate mother required a presence, required some additional paying extra. Intended parents were not happy to hear this. That's why emotionally it was not so convenient for them. That's why now we have an approach only through the coordinator of our clinic, who is the final responsible for the result of the program.
Okay, so communication of surrogate mother and intended parents are coming actually through the clinic.
Exactly. It's the best approach which prevents plenty not fair things and makes the transparent process for all parties.
So the intended parent, they can have the telephone number of surrogate mother if you allow.
Yes, we allow, but only after surrogate mother will sign the last paper for baby legalization in the country of intended parents. After this moment, they can do whatever they would like to do.
So we go for next question. Were there already cases in which the surrogate mother did not want to relinquish the child, or maybe she was genetically related to the child?
Great question. Let's now go some deeply and I will explain you how it works, why it's impossible that our surrogate mother will give birth with her own child. When we are preparing the endometrium of surrogate mother, we are making switch off of the ovum ovulation with the agonist gonadotropin-releasing hormone medications in order to prevent possibility of ovum ovulation on the moment of embryo transfer. That's why we completely understand if the pregnancy were ongoing, it were only the embryos which we are transferred to the surrogate mother. The second thing, we are using the IVF method with embryos which are created in our clinic. We are making all efforts to prevent using the embryos from another one clinic, and if we are responsible for the guaranteed pregnancy ongoing, for the final result of the program, we are using only approach when we are creating those embryos and we are transferring this embryo. We are responsible for this and we can know for sure that it will be embryos of intended parents. About the situation when surrogate mother did not relinquish the child and require her to take the child with her, no. Thanks for the God and thanks for Ukrainian legacy, it were no cases. We have the contract between intended parents and surrogate mother, contract between our company and surrogate mother, and the contract between intended parents and our company. It's very transparent, it's very clear. Here the step-by-step indicated all requirements, all rights and obligations.
That's really interesting. What about genetical test for intended parents? Do they need to do it before go out of Ukraine?
Of course, according to the legacy of some countries like Germany, France, maybe some others, it has no requirements in the embassy to pass the genetical tests. But 100% of our intended parents provided DNA test after we registered the baby birth certificate in order to confirm that it's really their baby. Even like it's like Afro-American couple, and they see the Afro-American baby phenotype. In all cases, they will do tests in order to be sure that it's really their baby.
Let's go for the next question.
Let's try.
And it's, have you ever made the experience that a surrogate mother did not comply with the terms of the surrogacy contract? It's consumption of alcohol, tobacco products during the pregnancy. Were there consequences?
Sanctions, in case we will find and we will confirm by laboratory method in urine and then in the blood, the nicotine, alcohol, or the popular drugs which possible to detect for. Sometimes even we are using the hair test, we taking the hair and sending for the criminal laboratory for the examination.
How many times during the pregnancy you do this test?
Every 2 weeks. In case we have the doubts, we can do it the day after day. It's on our approach, on our experience. That's why when I have asked on the second question, why we are making such recruitment of surrogate mothers, that's why 3 months before we are making the pre-selection, who of them really don't smoke, really don't drink, really don't take drugs. And the woman who starts with us, she understands with her mind that better I will keep calm, I will don't smoke, no drink, no alcohol. If she has if she's not addicted for this, it will be no problem these 9 months and plus 3 months to take care for no bad habits. Yes, we can seriously, we have the 2 types of care regimen for surrogate mother. It's special care regimen and the ordinary regimen. What is this? In the ordinary regime, woman can to work. She is not prohibited to have a travel on the territory of Ukraine during pregnancy, but on the first call, she must to come to clinic for the doctor termin, for the urine test, for any legal questions. On the first call, she must to arrive. And the special care regime when the woman, after pregnancy will be ongoing, let's say 15 minutes after embryo transfer, she forbidden to make a voyage, the travel. She obligated to stay only in our recommendation near the clinic. She is prohibited to work. She can to live in our recommendation with the baby. We are providing the flat only for her and for her baby, without possibility to stay with the husband. Yes, they can to
Which
meet with
baby?
each
I'm sorry,
other.
I didn't get this.
Because
Her own baby, you mean?
all surrogate mothers, the main requirement of our legacy is the woman must to have at least one healthy baby birth in the native way.
Okay, that's very good reply. So now we know that it's all under control, and the surrogate mother actually cannot decide on her life. She's like staying in a little vacation under the control of the clinic. Am I right?
Exactly, but not all women are ready for this, because to assist for this lady to be under the special care regimen, we should to help her with her life, with her work, with many legal questions, because Ukraine is a country which lives according to the legacy. And it's very multi-step process. And during these 3 months, when she undergoes the dynamical control, our lawyers, our coordinators, they are arranging all this in order this woman could to be like a babysitter for the baby of intended parents, but on the period of perinatal development.
And the next question we have here is, what are the approximate costs to be expected from the intended parents? How are these costs composed?
Well, the costs and package, they depend first of all from the task which intended parents are disposing before us. Speaking about the only own all sites for the pregnancy achievement. Speaking about the donor of the Afro-American, Asian or Indian phenotype, gender selection, or human genomic services. Or we are speaking about the surrogate motherhood program with birthing in another country like Canada, European Union or other countries. Let's take an example. The minimal package with guarantee, pregnancy ongoing, and all support services up to baby birth and baby living with baby from Ukraine is 37.5 thousand euro. It's a unique offer. Before 40,000 were provided PGD and JS in unlimited approach up to pregnancy achievement. There is a possibility for the young couple to use their oversights, and here are no additional payments. The package where intended parents have, let's say, requirements for a donor, or they want the gender selection, or they want to use own sites, and they don't want to stay in the waiting list for surrogate mother, it's around 59-60,000 euro. The middle package in Ukraine is 50-60,000 euro. All-inclusive packages with the human genomics, gender selection, prevention of all inherited single-gene disorders, no waiting list, advanced legal support for one or another life circumstances, so these questions with the citizenship for intended parents, it's 70,000 deluxe guarantee package. If we're speaking comparatively with the USA, the package a guaranteed approach starting from $200,000. I'm speaking about all fees for agency, fees for surrogate mother, clinic, etc., etc. When you ask me in the question approximate cost, I'm very happy to see in the eyes of intended parents and to introduce for you, for YouTube viewers, that we don't speak, we can to cross the word approximate, we have exact costs without no €0 additional payments. When we also speaking about the costs for single parent or for intended parents who would like to have birth in Czech Republic, Belgium, Netherlands, Portugal, the estimated cost from the 60 up to 100,000 euro, the middle price is 70-80,000 euro.
And I want to add to our viewers, so if you want to have more details about each package, you can go to the website and find all the details. Okay, Vladislav, we have next question, and it's, at what time the surrogate mother usually receives her compensation? Does she receive an entire amount of money at one time, or is paid in installments?
Our process is composed in approach when everything completely provides on the results achievement. When surrogate mother comes to clinic for the current examination, for the preparation, we are compensating only her arrival for the transport in Ukraine. If we are obtaining the pregnancy, she starts to receive installments month from month. If we have no confiance, no trust for surrogate mother, and if she is under special care regime, we are providing her some parts of money, some parts in the food supplement in order to control what she eats, what she drinks, which milk she uses during the pregnancy. Because one surrogate mother we have the trust, another surrogate mother should let's say, achieve our trust.
What do you mean by trust? You mean that she can spend the money you give
Understand?
her or not on the good food?
It's young lady. All they are before 35. If she receive money and we are paying really good amount installments during the month, she can to buy the jewelry, she can to buy fashion, yes, but can to forget about the healthy food for the baby. Her mind should to be directed for the baby development during all this time. The final amount surrogate mother, little part of final amount she receives after baby birth, and the majority of the final amount she receives after last paper will be signed. It's completely normal, accepted by the surrogate mothers, by the intended parents, by the lawyers of intended parents, approach which allows for all parties to be transparent before each other, to be clear for the steps of process, and do not change mind for nobody. Not for intended parents, not for surrogate mother, not for clinic.
Okay, let's go for the next question. Does a surrogate mother receive her compensation even if miscarriage happens?
Yes, of course. Surrogate mother have taken medication, she undergone embryo transfer, preparation, big changement of her lifestyle in order to achieve this pregnancy. If the pregnancy is terminated by the biological reasons, yes, it's very low rate because we are doing everything. We are transferring the best healthy embryo, using the elective single embryo transfer in order to make all like created the gut. One uterus, one follicle, one baby. The same in surrogacy. One surrogate mother, one uterus, one best embryo. But unfortunately, sometimes it happens. If this reason were obtained not after her bad behavior or violation of the contract conditions, yes, of course, she receives the financial compensation, and after rehabilitation, she can to be disposed for a new program.
And the next question coming from TENS, actually, let's assume the surrogate mother suffered from the pregnancy resulting sickness. Who has to pay the cost for these treatments?
I will tell you more. If surrogate mother suffers with any one or another disease or condition which will occur during the pregnancy or after birth, our clinic provides the rehabilitation and treatment in order to recover her as she will before the pregnancy.
The next question we have is, let's assume the intended parents get divorced during the surrogate mother's pregnancy and nobody wants to take responsibility for the baby. What do you think should happen with the baby in such of the case?
Very good question, and we had such experience. When intended parents started the program with us, they signed the contract, provided their marriage certificate, and according to this, they signed the plenty of applications which are regulated all steps of the program. If they getting divorced up to the moment of baby birth achievement, decision is very simple. One of them should to come for the baby, or will be obligated to come for the baby after the court decision in their countries. We have cooperation with all over the world lawyers on the familial, of the criminal and civil law. When we had such experience, let me show you how it works de facto. The man, the woman. The man gave the power of attorney for woman. Woman comes to Ukraine, registers the baby birth certificate here in our civil registry office, sending to Justice Minister of Ukraine. We have the clear mechanism how to proceed with this, and they left from Ukraine through the embassy of their country in legal way. And after this, during the 1 year, we are keeping the control how the rights of the baby in their country is conducted.
Okay, but what if the death of both intended parents will happen? What actually you will do?
Yes, the life is really unpredictable, but for such cases, in the contract we have opportunity to prescribe whom intended parents will be ready to give up the right of the babies in case of their death. But if it's theoretically will be happening with our situation, with our intended parents, here will be the court decision of Ukrainian government with the future destiny of these babies.
The next question will be, has it ever happened that intended parents have made liability claims against the clinic? Is this possible at all? And if this happened before, what was the reason?
We understand that people who undergo 10 IVF attempts is a non-guarantee approach of other clinics. Of course, their psychological conditions are some different from our vision of the things. That's why when they're starting with us, of course, they're some aggressive, but it's normal. We completely understand their position of their mind. All our programs is so much simple and clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. That basically here no way to have the claims. All programs are guaranteed, and the main claim which can intended parent to provide for our clinic, where is our baby? But thanking for our doctors, our coordinators, and our surrogate mothers in Ukrainian law, no claim during the last 10 years to our clinic we have.
Okay, the next question and the last question is, why in Ukraine surrogacy is legal? Are intended parents breaking the law of their country when proceeding with surrogacy in Ukraine?
Well, it's known thing from the internet where that Ukraine surrogate motherhood in Ukraine is prescribed in familial codex, in healthcare ministry documents, in the civil law, in the civil registry offices, even in the criminal codex of Ukraine. That's why from the multi-steps defense of the rights of the biological parents, of the surrogate mother, and of course something for clinic defense too. But now let's make the parallel. For example, I'm citizen of Ukraine, but in my brain I'm German, in my heart I'm French, in my soul I'm Italian. I want, with all this set, I want to go to the Netherlands to smoke Mary Jane. I'm still Ukrainian citizen. So I'm go to Netherlands, I smoke here Mary Jane, I'm dancing, I'm take fun, and come back to Ukraine. I'm criminal.
Why? In Ukraine is not legal?
In Ukraine, Mary Jane is not legal. But if I'm used the services in another country where it's completely legal, and I'm come back with my funny stories how I smoke Mary Jane, I'm not criminal. The same situation with the surrogacy. The most important that surrogate motherhood for intended parents, we are providing all main steps in the territory where it's legalized, where it's authorized. The baby birth we can give in the Czech Republic, where it's gray zone, not authorized, not prohibited. In Belgium, where the same situation, or in Portugal. But main thing is embryo creation, embryo transfer. All other related services we providing in the Ukraine, where it's completely authorized and legal.
And surrogate mothers are all Ukrainians.
And very important, yes, the surrogate mothers who are participating in our programs, all Ukrainian passports, because only USA and Ukraine has a legacy which can to prevent and to be the defense against breaking the law from the side of surrogate mother, governments, clinics, and other participants. For example, in Russia, the surrogate mother has the right to leave the baby for her to change mind. In some states of America, it's possible similar decision.
Even if genetically she is not the mother?
Exactly.
Seriously?
Or in Belgium and Czech Republic, when he had no possibility to conduct the financial contract with surrogate mother, the surrogate mother really can change the mind because she is the future mother of the baby. She is the woman who gave birth according to their legacy. Or like in UK is the same. Ukraine has a great opportunity and has a great law. Thank you for our government for this.
Thank you so much, Vladislav. This information is really important for all the intended parents. If you still have any question, please put your comment below or press the subscribe button to never miss any important information about surrogacy.